All right, we are back. Had hold on, y'all. We're trying to everyone. Okay, we are back on. I'm gonna give a few minutes for we had some technical issues and we had to go out and come back in. While you're coming in, I'm so glad that you are with us on today, this evening. Let me change something here. Okay. So it's a pleasure to be coming to you. Hey, Sister Grace, God bless you. You're so faithful. You're so consistent. I appreciate your support. We had to go out and we had to come back in. Still, hey, Dr. Sutton, glad to see you. So we're back. I still see a little jumping at the bottom, but it's it's technology. It's technology. All the way from Kentucky, Pastor William Sutton. Pastor Sutton, I don't know what part of Kentucky you're in, but I've got another friend in Louisville, Pastor Bell. I can't think of the name of the church. I can't think of the name of it, but we're glad to have you. Glad to have you on. As we always say, it is not a religious platform. It is not a church platform. It is a Christ awareness platform, and we're so glad to have you. I'm so excited. So excited. All right, are you ready? We're talking about the single life in many ways, are better than the married life. Now, I want to unpack this, so I want to take my time. We as a people, we feel that life is not complete until you get married. And it's good to get married. But you can't let that consume you, that I have to build my life, get help from here, get help from there. All I need is the right man or woman to come in my life and things will change. No, we're going to unpack that tonight. You must learn how to enjoy your singleness and living the single life. Don't allow, I wanted to say, don't allow the customs or the traditions or the way we have been programmed to think that you got to be married by a certain time. If you're not, that something's wrong and you've missed opportunities. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself looping your emotional and thoughts, looping on this with a lot of regrets, thinking it'll never happen. That I often talk about that inner critic on the inside in your mind. That's the thing that often tell you what you can't do, what you can't be, and it tell you why. And sometimes it's pretty good reasoning of the critic mind, but you don't listen to that inner critic. You walk in faith and walk in believing that you can have your desires and the desires of your heart. So I don't care how old you are, you and how young you are, male, female, you can still get your groove back. I know she said there aren't any good men. Well, I don't know, but I'm a good man. I know wife thinks so. Um, you have to find somebody. First of all, let me say this. Number one, they have to love God. Two things they must do first. Number one, they have to love God within them. Number two, they got to love themselves. The Bible said, love thy neighbor as thyself. And I'm going to unpack maybe next Friday, I'm not sure, on self-love. That's the battle. That's the sabotaging tool that the inner critic uses against us to hinder us from being, doing, and having. We call it the inner critic. It's always there. It always has something to say. Oh, you shouldn't have said that way. You shouldn't have did it that. What do people think? And it goes on. But that's not you. I often say your thoughts are not you. Thoughts are just thoughts. You got to remember that. And that's how you can walk in victory, because the battle is not in your fingers. Your battle is not in my shirt. The battle is not in my head, in my hat, but the battle's in the mind. Some years ago, Joyce Myers put a book out. Y'all need to go back and get that book. I think I'm going to pull it back up too. The Battlefield of the Mind. You know what I've noticed? I've noticed a lot of people really are religious, but they're not spiritual. There's a difference. A lot of people are religious, but they're not spiritual or spiritual minded. Don't allow your life to get caught up in on the highway of you got to get married by a certain time, you got to have kids. That's not yet. It depends on the individual, and don't let nobody make you, I'm getting ahead of myself, make you feel bad. One of the major benefits of being single is having the space in your life to spend quality time with you and your friends. Spend quality time with you and what? And your friends. There's a scripture that says that when a person is single, they care it for the things of the Lord. You've got to know what time it is in your life. I don't care how many folks are getting married, and you see couples and you think you have no idea what goes on with folks behind the door or once they get in the car. You have no idea. So that's why I often say in coaching, don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. Let me get my other monitor here. Don't compare yourself with nobody. Can I say it again? Don't compare yourself with nobody. Hold on, y'all. Or no other relationship. Okay. You don't compare your relationship. Got to restart one of my monitors. You don't. Hey, Arcola, how you doing? So I want to bring out the point, and it's going to be good. And if you catch it, you won't go through the emotional stuff you go through of being single. Enjoy it. And I want to tell you something. Really, God introduced the single life first before he introduced the married life. Okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, when Adam and Eve was in the garden, he didn't bring them in married, but he allowed Adam to enjoy. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let me slow down. Okay, 1 Corinthians 7:32-34. He who is unmarried cares for the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he who is married cares about the things of the world and how he may please his wife. That's why it's important to know where you are and know really what you want. And know is certain things really what you want at this time, or are you being I can't think of what I say, because other people are doing it, so now you're feeling pressured that you have to do it, and that's not the way to do it. That's not. Can I say it again? Y'all give me 1 second. I got to look at something here. When something's wrong on my camera, I want that one. Okay, that's what I want right there. When something's wrong on my camera, give me 1 second, y'all. I don't like anything that's jumping. I don't know whether y'all can see it, but just me seeing it makes a difference. Okay. All righty. Give me 1 second. Gotta get it just right. Okay. Y'all seeing? Hold on, y'all. Okay. Give me a second. You have to It's like a numbers 1 through 100. You got to line it up just right. Okay, let's try this. Let's see, can we? Okay, I think I can work with that. Okay, so I was saying, never feel pressured or people. You ain't married yet. Family tell you that. Friend, how you mean you ain't found nobody yet? And it bothers you if you allow it to. You just got to say, I'm enjoying my singing. Don't ever let nobody put that on. You mean you still ain't married? I thought you'd be married. That's what they thought. That's not you. They can't define when, what, where, who in your, that's the greatest victory in life, is getting free from public, hey, Sister Avis, getting free from public opinion. Or you're being pressured, or you're in your 50s, or you're in your 60s and people make you feel that you've missed out on life. And even your own mind, emotions make you feel, well, you've missed it, so you might. No. You have got to understand where you are. One thing, everything, God is a God of order. The first law of the universe is order. So when you're moving, not just in relationship, but in business, you gotta want to do something. I find people that don't want to do anything. And if you try to help them, they rebel against you. And that's the same thing happened with Moses. Moses brought them out of Israel. And they complained the whole time. You see what I'm saying? Now, the primary thing you need to understand from the scripture is that when God observed that it was not good for Adam to be alone, Adam was totally whole. Adam didn't even know he was single. It didn't even matter. Adam was on the earth all by himself, naming the animals, he was going on with his purpose. He was moving on with what life had designed for him to do. He would focus. God gave him, this is really good. God gave him, he blessed him. Let me say this here. Bless is only one blessing on the earth. It came from Adam. From Adam down to Abraham is the Abrahamic blessing. That's the blessing. People are like, I just need a blessing. No, you've got to tap into the Abraham's blessing. You're going out, you're coming in, your basket shall be full. All of that. Adam was focused. And when you stop wondering and worrying and let your emotions overwhelm you because you're single and you're not married, and some of you have kids, some of you raised your kids and they're going on, and now you're walking in that house by yourself. Baby, enjoy every minute of it. Cut the TV up loud as you want to, and you don't bother the neighbors, the radio, and just enjoy yourself. Enjoy. This is one of the main points. Enjoy the moment. Don't be all wonder why back there, wonder why they get married, wonder why Bozo did that, and then you go in the future and start saying, well, I'm waiting on my Boaz. But don't even focus on that. Adam wasn't focused on a help me. He was focused on the blessing that God had put in his life and the command that God had given him to replenish. Hey, Pastor Coleman, my friend, that's my place sister from Richmond, Virginia. Glad to have you on. Adam was focused. He didn't, well, why am I here by myself? He didn't even know anything about me until God came to him and took her out of his side. But he was single first. Singleness comes first. God did not put Adam and Eve on the earth and they were married. He put Adam and Adam lived and walked single for a while. And the Bible said that God saw that it wasn't good for man to be alone. But Adam was whole. Your whole goal in life, where you are now, it's a matter of being. You can be married and still not be who you are and not be whole. So this is why I started my company, my personal development company. You have to work on you. There's nobody coming to your rescue if you don't work on you and better yourself, better your thinking, monitor your thinking, monitor your emotion and just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Some people believe that when you marry, you have solved the problem of being alone. No. Getting married does not solve the problem for being alone. You have to become whole now. Are you listening to me? Work on, you say, well, I don't know where to start. You know, Dr. Hughes, you said, work on myself. It's cutting up. You